Do you have a passion for a topic and want to build a business niche around it? My name's Artale, and I'm a self-published indie author, and this session focuses on how to use ebooks to build your nonfiction niche. I'm going to share how you can use ebooks to take the business topic you're passionate about and use your ebooks as tools to build your brand around your business niche. I'm an introvert and a reluctant self-promoter. I don't like selling my skills or expertise in person. In fact, I find it really challenging, and I know I'm not the only author who feels like this. But if you want to build your own business, selling your expertise is an essential part of developing your brand. Let me give you a little bit of background. 2 years ago, I quit my corporate career. I spent 17 years working for a global organization, and I built my reputation on successfully delivering cross-functional projects. My results spoke for themselves, and I didn't have to sell my skills or expertise. But now that I'm building my indie niche around my travel brand Roving J and my self-publishing company Birds of a Feather Press, I have to start that reputation building process again from scratch. So how do you get somebody to take notice of what you're doing and saying? Well, it's easy. You write an ebook. Your ebook can help establish your expertise in your niche. It can help you build your mailing list to attract potential clients, and it can help boost your website's search engine optimization. When I'm passionate about a topic, I suddenly become like a sponge and absorb as much as I can about it. I research it, I buy books about it, I dig as deep as I can to get to the root of understanding about it. I'm analytical and I love the research process. And when I feel I've mastered the basics, I want to tell anyone who's interested about it too. But that's when my enthusiasm starts to wane. I don't want to stand up in a room full of people to share what I've learned or get a guest spot on a podcast. So how do people know what my expertise is? Well, it's simple, they don't. And if you're an introvert trying to build your own niche, this is the hurdle you'll fall at too. But if you consolidate your expertise on your chosen topic into an ebook, you can share it confidently and safely so that you can raise awareness of what you're an expert in. Your ebook is a foot in the door of a new client. It helps get you noticed in your business niche, and it enables you to establish a presence on one of the world's largest distribution sites, Amazon, and on other ebook retailers like Nook, Kobo, iBooks, or consolidators like Smashwords or Draft2Digital. You can use the combined traffic from those sites to help raise awareness of your brand. When you write about a topic, you automatically bolster your credibility in it. This has the knock-on effect of creating a working relationship by establishing a level of trust in your business niche. And the bonus? When people like what they read, they'll become your brand ambassador and spread the word about your book and your service. Writing an ebook is a basic business solution to a problem that many introverts face, but sometimes you need a nudge in the right direction to commit to putting your expertise down on paper. So let's look at the other two benefits of writing an ebook. The second benefit is that an ebook provides you with content to use to build your mailing list. Unless you're new to internet marketing, you should already be aware of the importance of setting up a mailing list when you launch your website. It's a pivotal part of your digital marketing strategy and a great way to build a list of potential client leads. No matter what products or services you're selling, the key to business success is finding and connecting with your target audience. If you set up a mailing list and offer a book to potential customers in return for that email address, you'll have more success building your list. Now let's look at the final way an ebook can boost your brand. To build your business, you need to increase your visibility, and to do this, you should look at your blog and book content as two sides of the same coin and use them together. Search engines love new content, especially if it's optimized. If you don't blog consistently, the search engine bots will crawl your site less frequently, and you'll slip further and further down the rankings. But the more niche content you publish on your blog or website, the greater your perceived level of expertise. So if you can maintain a consistent frequency of published blog content, the more frequently the search engine bots will crawl your site to reposition you higher in the search engine results. Using your blog in tandem with your ebook will help increase your efficiency and streamline your content creation process. Breaking down your book content into smaller chunks helps to make the prospect of writing your book less overwhelming and onerous. It's much easier to focus on producing a continual stream of 500 or 800 word chunks of content rather than producing 10,000 words on your chosen topic. You're killing two birds with one stone when you create a collaborative relationship between your blog content and your book content. This content boosts your SEO, which raises your brand awareness in search results. When your content increases your discoverability, it can help to lead your audience to your website. Then all you have to do is entice them to join your mailing list by setting up an effective sales funnel. Nina Amir is a well-known nonfiction author who's built a brand and website around how to blog a book, and I'm going to cover more in that process later in this presentation. I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, so let's take a quick break to let all of that get absorbed. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have a topic you're passionate about? Do you want to become a subject matter expert in your niche? Do you want to establish a brand around your niche? Do you want a tool to help you do your selling for you? Do you want to build your audience? Do you want to grow your mailing list? Do you want to rank higher in search engine results? Or do you want to attract more traffic to your website? If you answered yes, then maybe it's time you wrote an ebook. It's really easy to create a PDF, and you may wonder why you don't just go down that path instead of creating an ebook. But the added value that an ebook brings is worth the extra effort. Just like PDFs, ebooks can be short and concise, and when you're creating them in conjunction with your blog, you get added SEO benefits. But with an ebook, you get to leverage the site traffic of companies with massive virtual foot traffic, and an ebook carries more professional clout than a PDF. Don't let the thought of becoming a self-published indie author scare you. Ebooks are inexpensive to produce and easy to distribute. You can go direct on one platform or spread yourself across multiple platforms. You can make changes to your books and republish them immediately so that your information is always current and relevant. And when you have multiple books, you can bundle them together to create a virtual box set, and you can collaborate with other authors in your business niche to market and promote your books together. I don't know about you, but nothing motivates me more than when I've made a financial commitment to something. If you're at the start of your nonfiction journey, you need the right tools. The number one time-saving and organizational tool that will help you achieve your writing success is to invest in Scrivener. I wrote my first book in Word, and the content organization and version tracking at the chapter level became an absolute beast to manage. Word might work well for fiction, but for nonfiction, don't even go there. Invest in this writing-specific software, you won't regret it. I'm a passionate and committed Scrivener user. It's inexpensive to buy, and you can claim it as a valid business expense. And Scrivener isn't just useful for writing your actual ebook. It's really handy when it comes to collecting and organizing your research and notes, so that when you're ready to write your book, you have everything you need in one file. At this stage in the process, you may be tempted to start writing your book. Well, you're an expert in your topic after all, so there's nothing stopping you from ploughing ahead, is there? From my experience, the more time you spend in the planning stages, the easier it will be to write your nonfiction book. If you're a fiction writer, you've probably heard of plotters and pantsers. And while those different approaches work for fiction, when it comes to nonfiction, you'll benefit from plotting. So create a book outline so that you have the content guardrails to work between. And then that will make it easier to determine what content goes into your book and what gets left out. As a subject matter expert looking to write your first book, the problem won't be that you don't have any idea of what you want to write. It's more likely that you're so overwhelmed with content ideas that you feel like you're drowning in the sheer volume of them. I'm a firm believer that you should write your passion, because when you write what you have an emotional connection to, it shows up in your writing. But you shouldn't just pick a topic and write about it without first considering your audience. You should ask yourself, what do they need? If you've been running your business for a while, you've probably had to answer the same core group of questions over and over again from clients or potential customers. And these frequently asked questions or common concerns or problems could be the nucleus of an idea for your ebook. There's a wealth of information already available online from your target audience. You just need to know where to look. Find other books in your niche and take a look at the reviews. The 5 stars will tell you what people loved about the book and what stood out for them. But if you mine through the 2, 3, and 4-star reviews, you'll get an insight into what readers thought was missing. And as well as review sites, take a look at Q&A sites on the internet. 2 of the most popular are Reddit and Quora. People will be posting questions in your niche, and lots of them are looking for help and advice. So these sites are great for finding out information about your target audience. Your content niche could also have a few Facebook or LinkedIn groups or forums that are centered around the topic. When I was launching my travel blog and later when I wrote my travel guides, I used the public forums in TripAdvisor. One of their specialist forums focused on the destination I was interested in writing about. I joined in the conversations, found out what kind of information visitors were looking for, and that input really helped provide a focus and direction for my writing. If your niche has specialist sites with an active forum, monitor the conversations and then pick up on any of the discussion trends. What are your target audience struggling with? What conversations get the most interaction? What are they passionate about talking about? What are they complaining or confused about? Review sites, Q&A sites, or online forums are a great way to drill down into your audience needs. The more you read and research, the clearer your audience needs will become. You'll find the same topics popping up over and over again, and when you spot these content trends in your niche, then you'll have another idea of ebook content, and you'll know that there's an inbuilt audience for it. And lastly, check for any growing trends in your industry or any of the reputable association or organization websites for your industry niche. Watch for breaking news and establish yourself as a thought leader by being the first to bring an ebook on the topic to the marketplace. Here's a cross-section of some of the potential ebook topics that caught my attention when I did some research into project management. And my next step would be to pick a couple of these topics and do intensive searches across all the platforms to see what topics were trending. There's so much free information out there that's readily available, questions being asked, needs being communicated. It's not difficult to find your audience's pain points and write an ebook about them. Once you've come up with some content ideas, the next step is to create an audience profile so that your nonfiction book speaks to somebody specific rather than being a generic collection of insights or advice. It's too easy to fall into a trap of trying to create a book that has mass appeal, but in the process it becomes a book that doesn't actually meet the needs of your target audience group. This is the mistake I made when I wrote my first travel guide. I tried to include too much information and the content became a meandering mess. But as soon as I defined my target audience, it became clear what I needed to include in my ebooks and what should be left out. So as soon as I defined my target audience as empty nesters with disposable income, with a sense of adventure, who wanted to get off the beaten path and experience a slice of local life, I cut out information about organised tours, nightclubs and activities and events aimed at keeping kids entertained. What I ended up with was an ebook with a clearly defined content strategy that resonated with the core readers I was trying to reach. I think that this is one of the most important lessons that I learned. What you leave out is just as important as what you put in your ebook, and you can't determine that unless you know who you're writing it for. The most common mistake I see when I'm coaching authors is their failure to define a target audience. They're so enthusiastic about writing a book that they forget this foundational step, and they get overwhelmed because their book lacks focus. But as soon as they define their target audience, it changes everything. It changes the way they approach their writing, and it creates a much better, higher quality book. Suddenly, they're having a conversation with their audience, not broadcasting to the masses. I like getting one or two people in mind and then writing specifically to them, so that my books are more like a one-to-one conversation than a textbook or a reference book. Get under the skin of your audience by defining who they are and what they like. Here's some standard questions you can ask yourself to define your target audience. If you have a broad topic, you can find your niche market by drilling down on your audience and getting more specific on the content you're creating by understanding who they are and what their needs are. My most recent nonfiction book was about the writing technique, free writing. But instead of writing a generic free writing book for writers, I narrowed down the target audience so that the book that I wrote was specific to my target niche, which is predominantly travel guides and nonfiction writing guides. So the audience profile I identified was a male or female blogger who wants to learn writing skills to improve their travel writing. They're proficient bloggers, but want to add a level of creativity to their writing. They want to find ways to overcome procrastination and generate more article ideas, and they're new to the writing techniques and haven't heard of free writing before. As soon as I defined who I was writing for, it was so much easier to determine what chapters I should include in my book. And the added bonus is that once you've identified your target audience, you now have a foundational element for your marketing promotional plan. Once you've narrowed down your content ideas and identified your target audience, you're ready to start planning out and writing your business ebook. Creating your content can be overwhelming, but if you break down your content creation into smaller chunks, it can seem much more manageable. I mentioned earlier about the two approaches Nina Amir mentions on her website. One is the blog to book approach and the other is book to blog approach. For the blog to book method, you use existing content from your blog and create a framework for your book and then fill in any content gaps on topics that you feel are missing. For the book to blog method, you plan out your book and then as you write it, you publish individual posts on your blog. This helps to establish your subject matter expertise via your blog and attract your audience for your book when it's published. And I actually use both of those methods for creating ebooks. For my travel guides, I use the blog to book method. I started by blogging about my chosen topic and then realized I had a whole wealth of information on my website, so I used it to create my ebook content. Then I fleshed out the chapters by adding additional content to get the book to flow so that it didn't just feel like a series of blog posts stitched together. For my new ebook series, How to Write a Travel Guide, I'm using the book to block method. I laid out the titles and content framework for all the chapters in the book, and as I write each chapter, I publish sections of it to my blog as blog post installments. Whichever approach you take, you're getting more mileage out of your content. The content on your blog helps your SEO and attracts your target audience, and your ebook helps get you discovered on websites outside of your content universe. Once you've written your book, you should follow the recommended best practices for editing, designing, and publishing it. There's a wealth of information available here on the Self-Publishing Advice Center to walk you through all of those pre-production and production steps. But one step I do want to touch on is pricing strategy. One of the decisions you need to make is the pricing strategy for your book, and that should be based on your business goals. Are you looking to build your brand around your subject matter expertise, or do you also want to generate some passive income? There's multiple ways to slice and dice your marketing and promotional strategy, and you're not locked into one approach. As an indie author, you've got the flexibility to select one pricing strategy and then switch to another if it's not working. Is your book being offered free to build your list or at a promotional price, or do you want to use it as a passive income tool? When you only got one book, it's difficult to give it away for free. So you could opt instead to give away a few sample chapters or offer supplementary material like a checklist or action plan that's complementary to your book. But once you've got 3 books under your belt, consider offering one as perma-free and charging for the others. Is your sole purpose to build your expertise and you don't care about passive income? Then use them all as free promotional content to build your lists. your free book becomes a promotional content tool that you can feature on social media and can lead potential customers to your website. So rather than posting sales messages like buy my service, buy my product, you can offer content that helps educate, inform, or inspire your audience. This model of give before you take is an approach that introverts can feel more comfortable using. So let's take a look at how some nonfiction content creators are promoting their books. Jonathan has built a niche around blogging your passion, and he started off by offering an ebook and has supplemented that with free downloads, and now he offers premium video courses. Indie author Ian Sutherland started off by offering an ebook, Advanced Twitter Strategies for Authors, and now earlier this year he launched a premium Twitter service that manages and implements all of the author strategies that are mentioned in the book. My Free Writing for Travel Writers ebook is a paid ebook that includes 100 travel writing prompts. So I created PDF workbooks that I offer as free downloads, each with 10 prompts in them to supplement my ebook. Tim, a life coach from A Daring Adventure, offers a series of 4 ebooks and many more paid ebooks that cover the same topics in more depth. A Pennsylvania Accident Victims Resource Center publishes multiple free resource books that are really focused on insurance claimants and accident victims specific to the state of Pennsylvania. Indie author and cover designer Jessica Bell makes her self-publish your book available to read online for free, but it's also for sale at online distributors along with our other books in the writing and publishing niche. Circle S Studio is a branding and design studio, and they promote a free 55-page ebook to help you learn how to plan and design the website yourself. Prolific fiction and non-fiction writer Joanna Penn publishes a series of books about self-publishing, writing, and being an indie author, and she set up her successful self-publishing ebook on ebook retailers as a perma-free book. And another author who did the same thing is a children's book author and illustrator, Katie Davis. She offers her How to Write a Children's Book for free on ebook retailers as well. Are you inspired to get started? We've really only just scratched the surface of this ebook topic. I shared the benefits of creating ebooks and some methods for researching your content niche and the critical step of defining your target audience. This is just the start of the journey. We didn't even touch on the creation of your ebook or distribution platforms, but rest assured it's simpler than you think to bring an ebook to market. To help you in your self-publishing journey, there's plenty of resource information featured in our Indie Author Fringe sessions and in the blog archives of our Self-Publishing Advice Centre. My hope is that the seed of inspiration to create your own non-fiction books has been sown.